as you know, the Fab Four, no, not the Beatles, but the other foursome that everyone is talking about, William, Harry, Meghan, and Kate, all coming together at Windsor Castle. And yes, it was a surprising and symbolic moment to see Meghan Markle as the brothers and their wives reunited for the first time in public among all that tension, now side by side. First time since March of 2020 when Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal life. How symbolic is that? What will it mean? And what does the new reign of Charles and his boys mean for the future of his children and their wives? Once again, we would like to bring in our ABC Royal contributor, Omid Scobie, as he's been following all this as well. That definitely was a moment. There's so much to talk about with regard to just getting real, right? And we're going to talk about the Queen and where just the symbolism of where she passed and what the Balmoral estate meant in her life. But first, this was a real moment, seeing the Prince and his wife along with Harry and Meghan for the very first time. There has been tension. They have been split. You would hope that they would come together to honor their grandmother.
Absolutely. I mean, we see the footage there. I can't help but sort of wanting to unpack it and rewatch it and pick up little signs here and there, because of course it's really the most we've seen of the couple side by side in a very long time. I can't forget that moment at the Commonwealth service at Westminster Abbey back in March 2020. It was the last day that the couple were in the UK before stepping back from their royal roles, and it was frosty between the two. There was absolutely no words exchanged, and it was the beginning of sort of the deepest fracture in the relationship between the two brothers. So to see them put that aside for that moment at Windsor Castle, I think is a real show of how professional they can be. You know, this is ultimately them putting duty over family in those moments, but also showing the utmost respect for the Queen, regardless of their differences. They know that that's what she would have wanted. It's also what the public would have wanted, and they were all there to gather and honour her life. And so it was paying respect to those that were outside as well. And quite frankly, it would have felt strange if the Sussexes were inside their home, a home that's only 150 yards away from the Cambridge's new residence. Right. So I think it just made sense.
It was the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
So that was a pretty much real, you could say that was a pretty real and raw moment that we didn't expect. Let's go back now to Balmoral Estate, where the Queen passed. This is a place where she felt real. She could let the purse and the gloves go. Yeah. She could dress casually. Her staff could leave and she could be present with her family, right?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, we talk about the constitutional side of this and the pomp and the pageantry, and of course we're currently watching that procession of the Queen making her way from Aberdeen to Edinburgh, where she'll rest. But outside of that is a family that's mourning, and that family has heart. And I think there was a real poignancy to the fact that her life came to an end in probably one of the most special places for all of them. The fact that every member of the family, including her children, were able to go up to Balmoral, where she had already spent the summer. This is a place that has been the centre of every family get-together in the summers. It's the home of the sort of roaring hikes that the Queen would love to go on with her corgis and with her other family members. You know, this is a woman that was thrown into a life of service from a very young age. We know from the Queen that she had always dreamt of one day having a life where she was away from the public and she could just be with the animals and in the countryside. It never happened. But once a year, there was that summer visit to Balmoral that would go on till September or October, where she could be herself. We would hear stories from staff about how they'd wear the same sweaters and cardigans every year, to the point where they would have holes in them, and the Queen would knit patches onto Prince Philip's. And it was just a place where all of the stuffiness of royal life was put to one side. Picnics on the lawn, barbecues together. They would prepare that food themselves. Prince Philip would cook it. So when I heard that the Queen was going back to Balmoral this summer, one of her aides said to me at the time, actually, if it does happen this summer, she'll be in her happiest place that she could be.
And she was there. Omid, we'll be talking a lot more.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.